The United States is now an occupied country. On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history.
My dad bought everything for me to live over here. The rent, and I don't know what I'm going to eat. And I was so hungry right now. I need my dad for me. My dad didn't end up here. He's not a criminal or something. That's what the immigrants took him. So please let him free.
They appealed for his release today outside City Hall. Yesterday, I should say, outside City Hall.
My sisters are crying because their dad isn't here. So please, let him come home.
I'm struggling a lot today, seeing all these videos of the hate going around with this mass deportation. And it hurts my heart because, you voted for who you voted for. But why so much hate? How can you mock the kids that are losing their parents? Or the parents that are losing their kids? Living in constant fear for what may happen to your friends and your families. And even people that you see on social media. It hurts. It hurts. Because why is there so much hate? Why do you have to be this way?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a very emotional video because FAFO season is here and it's hitting harder than ever. Latino for Trump and Mexicans are being deported in mass deportations as ICE raids are on the rise and their community is being caught in the crossfire. Tears, tension, and raw emotions. This is the reality that's unfolding right now. Families are being torn apart, their voices are rising, and some Latinos are even afraid of going to work. Whether you're watching from the sidelines or living through it, one thing is clear. This is not an easy experience to go through. So in this video, we have so many Latino for Trump, MAGA supporters crying and breaking down emotionally, asking for sympathy for the mess that they did to themselves. We all know that 61% of Latinos voted for Trump. So the question is, should we really sympathize with the Latino community, or should we let them know that we told you so? You effed around and now you're finding out. Thank you very much for choosing us today. If you're new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, and let me know your opinion in the comment section below. I'll be back with more commentary.
PSA, the deportation's happening. It's not a controversial or sensitive subject. For those who are saying that right now, it's not that deep. You either believe in humanity, you have empathy, or you don't. It's never been that complicated. All these people getting deported right now, it's like breaking my heart. That could have been you. That could be you.
Okay, is anybody else getting really emotional watching all of these protests go around the world, even close by? Whenever I hear that song, the song, the Mexican anthem song right now, and the Mexican flags and people singing together of all races, God, my heart, it makes me tear up. I posted a video yesterday. I know a lot of us right now are feeling just completely disappointed and devastated. And I just want you to know, don't let those feelings overcome what is fact. Yes, there are quite a few people that hate Mexicans, but also there are quite a lot more that love us. They love the culture, they love the language, they love the music, the food, everything, and they're going to stand with us, okay? So don't feel completely abandoned, because we're not. We're not abandoned. And like I said, Mexicans, we are pinches chingones, cabrones. Like, we always, anytime we fall down, we cry, but we get our asses right back up and keep on going. And that's never, ever going to change. So you can hate Mexicans all you want to. It doesn't matter. People love us and we're here to stay no matter what happens.
The fear of mass deportations has had a chilling impact on many communities with large Latino populations. Now it's hitting home in schools.
As a Hispanic woman, honestly, y'all, I'm having a really hard time right now in this country. And there's many reasons why I feel this way, but I want to give you 3 real examples why I find this so troubling. The first one, I have a girlfriend of mine that lives in Atlanta, Georgia, who is also a Hispanic woman. And yesterday she sent me a text letting me know that there was an ICE raid in the MARTA and that she was terrified to be targeted because of the way she looks. Because when you're Hispanic, I can't hide this. I'm Hispanic through and through. And so now you're targeting American citizens, or quite honestly, just human beings because of the way that we look. How's that right? I have another girlfriend who was telling me that in her community, there is a lot of not only Hispanics, but Asian Americans, Korean community, who are a little afraid to send their kids to school because ICE raids are now happening in elementary schools. How do you explain that to a kid? How do you live in fear that you're going to send your kid to school and your kid may not come back? Or that your kid might sort of point them to you where you are, when all you've done is come to this country and work hard. Now, I know this is controversial, and I know that there's a lot of people that are probably going to give me hate about this and tell me all of the reasons why immigrants are taking jobs and all of that. And if that's you, I respect your opinion, but quite frankly, I don't want to hear it on here. Because I hear that opinion every single day, and I'm trying to build a community who sees each other not by the color of our skin, but as human beings who deserve to be respected and treated with kindness. And the third thing out of the many things that is currently weighing heavy on my heart and I find extremely troubling in the sentiment or this time that we're living in our country is the amount of hate and separation that we are feeding into as a society. At the end of the day, you and I, we are human beings here living our lives every day, trying to love, trying to work, trying to build our dreams. And it breaks my heart that we're so separated. It shouldn't be that way. So these things are weighing heavy on my mind. I'm sorry you're not hearing about candles today, maybe tomorrow, but I felt like I needed to be authentic and say something because it's a really sad time here in our country, and it's hard. It's hard not to feel charged and sad and angry and upset and all of the things. So if that is you today, I want you to know you're not alone, and let's support one another. Let's build each other up. Let's model positivity. Let's be kind, and let's love one another.
At a U.S. Army airfield in El Paso, exclusive video obtained by CBS News shows shackled detainees boarding a military cargo plane, one of 2 C-17s to depart the southern border carrying migrants, and landing in Guatemala Friday morning.
Deportation's going very well. We're getting the bad, hard criminals out.
I don't know why it's so difficult for people to understand. And I'm getting to this point after watching Taffy's video about what's happening with the Latino community right now in the United States and the mass deportations happening and ICE raids in elementary schools. I don't know why it is hard for many people to understand that Latinos are like human beings and have goals and aspirations, and don't get it twisted, they're not here because they just woke up one day and wanted to be here. You know, it's deeper than that. And also, Latinos aren't just laborers doing back-breaking labor that no American wants to do. Yes, a huge majority of Latinos work in agriculture, work in construction, but like for you to be like, that's all they do is deeply upsetting. So maybe just think of them as human beings who came to this country and wanted a better life because of the deregulation and chaos happening back home. perpetuated probably more than likely by the United States. So, yes, but also no. They're people too.
Hello, boss. Yes, it's Raul. Nobody coming to work today. Everybody very scared. So if you don't give me more money, I'm not coming back because I'm the only one with a green card. So if you don't give me $100 an hour, I leave it. Okay, I leave it right now. I don't care. Okay, no problem. That's it. The place is shut down. That's it. I leave it today.
Reporting. Mom, tell me your age. How old are you?
I'm 93 years old.
Okay, and what do you think about deporting the Hispanic community, the people that we have here, that we've had taken care of?
It's very foolish of him and wrong. The Hispanic people that help us make our lives easier, and a lot of Americans don't want the jobs that they take. They take jobs that nobody else wants. They work hard to send money back to their families, and they help us a lot.
Well, Trump said he wants to get rid of criminals.
Well, if they're just the criminals, if they're bad and they're going to harm people, that's another story. But the good people should not be reported.
And we're in California. Our labor depends on the farmers.
What?
Who's going to pick our strawberries and who's going to be doing all this work on the farms?
Nobody wants some of the jobs that they have. The Americans take higher powered jobs. They don't want jobs like that. So I don't know who's going to work on the farms.
So what's going to happen to our groceries?
What?
What's going to happen to the groceries?
Everything's going to go up in price because it will cost more to get things off the farm.
That's right.
A lot of people won't be able to afford some of the things they have now.
Yeah. It's a shame.
What?
Also, Trump is he's dividing families. He's deporting families.
He's dividing, sending the parents back, and the children who are born here are American citizens. They can stay. It doesn't make sense to separate them from their parents.
It's mean. It's cruel.
It's cruel.
Yeah.
It is cruel.
Yeah. Okay, Mom. Thank you.
And they have to be here without their parents? That doesn't make sense.
It's horrible.
Who's going to take care of them?
I don't know. Sad. Thank you, Mom.
I have worked in immigration for the last, about 9 years. And I can never support Trump because of his inhumane immigration policies, point blank, period. I don't care if he has the potential to improve the economy. To me, the economy is not the main concern. I care more about the way human beings are being treated, specifically immigrants coming into the United States. I've worked in immigration law under the Obama administration, the first Trump administration, the Biden administration, and now under Trump's second term. You know what Obama did? He created DACA. You know what the first Trump administration did? Separated children from their mothers at the border. Babies. The Trump administration got sued. And to this day, there's how many, 100,000 kids still missing, unaccounted for, that have yet to be reunited with their mother. And the Biden administration did establish some hurdles for asylum seekers, absolutely. However, the general vibe in the immigration field under Biden it had a much more humanitarian approach to it. Specifically with DHS being more amenable to dismissing cases. Now it's the complete opposite. The immigration vibe under Trump is hostile, literally hostile. We had a client where we emailed DHS asking them if they would be willing to dismiss our client's case. She has been here over 10 years, has 3 kids that are United States citizen, minor children. She's a single parent, their primary breadwinner. She has no criminal record. She's not an enforcement priority. If they would just be willing to throw her case out. On June 18, DHS says, absolutely, we agree. She's not an enforcement priority. We will be willing to dismiss her case. By the time the office reopened Tuesday, January 21st, we got another email from DHS saying, sorry, we can no longer offer PD and dismiss this case. The enforcement priorities have changed. So you're telling me that under the Trump administration, anyone who is undocumented is an enforcement priority. Even a mother who has no criminal record, who has lived over 10 years in the United States, has 3 minor United States citizen children. She's an enforcement priority. She has to...
Yo, I'm literally here sitting crying, y'all. It's like so sad seeing people's family getting taken away, like just because they don't have papers. Like a baby can lose their dad just because they don't have papers. Like you can get deported back to your, like where you came from just because you don't have papers. Like that shit is so sad. The world is so, literally so fucked up. Like I don't know, like it's so sad for people to go to stores. Like you go to the stores and they're all empty because they're scared. Like they're scared for their lives. Like that shit is so sad and it's so wrong. Like I've been crying since the fucking morning, y'all. Like my For You page has me so sad. Like that, I don't know how to explain this, y'all, but that shit is so sad. And if you know that your family does not have no type of papers, keep them inside. You go to the store for them, anything, because they're literally scared for their lives. And it's so sad because they can just show up to schools now. They can raid the schools and they can take any students. They can take anybody. Like, it's so fucking sad, dude. Like, I wish the world was not like this. It's so fucked up. Like, I don't even know how to explain the feeling. Like, me knowing that I have papers and everything, and me on my For You page seeing that people are getting, like, their family taken away from them is so sad. Or them texting them like, can you go to the grocery store because I'm so like scared to go. That shit is sad as. But if you have family, do not put them in danger, girl. Keep them home, keep them safe.
Alright, y'all, there you have it. As we have seen in the video, especially at the beginning of this video, we saw this child whose, I think, dad was apprehended by the ICE, agents, and she was crying and asking the government to have a heart and to leave his dad alone because he is not a criminal. That really broke my heart, because as much as Latino men, especially the Latino men, over 60% of them voted for the orange man in charge, and now it's FAFO season. You F around and now you find out. What about the children? What about the families? What about the mothers who are actually paying the price? And if we are being honest here, let's be realistic. As much as we want to hold them accountable for what they did at the ballot box when they were voting and they voted for the orange man, most of them, but if we are being honest, these people who are being deported cannot vote because they are illegally in the country. They do not have any papers. They do not have any identity card. They do not have any citizenship to go and vote for the orange man. It's their compatriot maybe who came into the country years ago and got naturalized that went ahead and voted against the best interest of their own community, because knowingly they knew that the largest amount or the largest population of illegal immigrants are Latinos in the United States, coming from Latin America, not just Mexico. Many countries in Latin America use the Mexico-US border to get into the country illegally. Not wantingly, these people are fleeing economic hardships and sometimes even cartels, and they are looking for greener pastures, better opportunities for them to work. And we know that we have sold them that American dream in the American movies. Everybody knows about the American dream. We all watch Hollywood movies, and if you come to America, you make it in life. So everybody is looking for that opportunity. If they cannot get to America legally, most people are gonna look for that illegal point of entry just to make a buck and feed their own families. So if you're looking at these children who are being separated from their parents, they did not do this. They do not deserve to go through this, especially the fact that the orange man in charge has now revoked citizenship by birthright. That means if you are an illegal parent who had a child in the United States in previous administration, that kid was eligible for US citizenship, and it was very hard for, Border Patrol or ICE agent to come and separate you from your kid, because that would mean that you are deported and your kid stays in the United States because they are US citizens. Now the orange man has just changed laws. In his new policy, citizenship by birthright has been revoked. That means that it's now easier to deport families, because if you have a daddy, if you have a mommy who is an illegal immigrant and they had you in the United States, now you can be deported with them. You saw the kid in tears, actually. You saw how people are now worried about even going to work, because many Latinos are being afraid. They are afraid of how they look. Of course, they stand out because of their facial expressions, and they are people of color. They stand out in their communities. They stand out in the streets, and ICE agents are now detaining anybody who looks like a Latina, who looks like a Mexican. You can prove that you are actually legally in the country later when they have already detained you. So I'm asking the question, if you are putting this thing aside, rightfully so, they have to find out for the effing around that they did at the ballot box and voted for the orange man. But if you are being honest, as we have said here, it's not them that are being deported who voted for Trump. It's the people who are still in the country. The naturalized Latino citizens who are still in the United States, they voted for the orange man. They're still there. They cannot be deported because they're already citizens of the United States, unless they have that citizenship illegally, which I highly doubt. Now, let's not be animals. These people are being hunted like animals. ICE has given bounties to hunt illegal immigrants, to hunt Latinos. These are not animals. These are human beings. These are people who have come into the country and they are working into the job sectors that American citizens cannot work in. Things like agriculture, things like construction. These people actually are working the jobs that Americans don't want. And to be honest, we need these people. We need them in the fields of California. We need them in construction. We need them in electricity and plumbing. You know what I mean? They boost the economy because they are hard workers. Most Latinos are hard workers. Of course, I'm not taking the fact that we have some who are criminals and who are committing a lot of offenses and actually robbing people and aliving people. But majority of these people are contributing to the US economy, and they are helping each and every citizen there. You have cheaper groceries because of them. You'll have cheaper plumbing because of them. Now, if they are all deported, now American citizens will have to fill these jobs. And I'm sure that most of them will not work for the bare minimum wage. So people are gonna have to be paid more. And if they're paid more, things actually are gonna rise in prices. So the cost of your groceries is gonna rise very high. So let's be humans here and acknowledge the fact that these immigrants are not criminals. Yes, some might be, but not all immigrants are criminals. These are people who came into the country to look for greener pastures, to look for better opportunities. Just like actually the palm-colored people long time ago left Europe and came to the Americas looking for greener pastures, looking for better opportunities because they could not make it in Europe. So that's my take on this. What do you think about today's episode? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, see you on the next episode.